Hey guys, Lord Revan here, back with another video. But today's video is going to be a little different. We're going to do a rant/news video. I'll be doing these probably every 2 weeks or so. They're going to be a two-part video about where I talk about something I dislike in the Star Wars universe, like say past, present, or future, like with upcoming events or news, and I'll just talk about upcoming news for the people that don't really know what's going on or just don't have time to find out everything. So it's just a little information slash rant. And a little FYI before we start, we were heavily outmatched here. Like, we both teams start off 3v3, but they got their fourth person early game. We got ours like very late game, so we got crushed pretty bad. Alright, let's get into the rant now.
Out of our next contest alive.
So,
today's
topic is going to be about Star Wars Legends and the EU, the expanded universe, and what Disney has done to ruin everything that's in Legends. So, back in 2012, Disney decided to, buy Lucasfilm, and then also, on top of that, they said everything in the EU universe did not exist. Everything in Legends, like from the Old Republic to Luke's New Jedi Order, so on and so forth, did not exist. And that became a problem because there was going to be books that were going to be released from the EU that were not, permitted to be released. For example, there was the Fate of the Jedi that was one of my favorite of the series. Takes place during Luke's New Jedi Order, and it was fantastic. I would listen to the audiobook all the time. It was created by Christy Golden, Troy Denning, and one other person. I forget who it was, but it was such a great series. I loved it. It was so good, and I grew to love the character because I listened to the audiobook. And Mark Thompson's very good at doing the characters. He makes you fall in love with the characters, and it really takes you into the Star Wars universe that he's portraying in that time. And the problem was, after the Fate of the Jedi, there was a lot of cliffhangers, a lot of questions that needed answered, and we never got them. We never got the series, The Story of the Jedi, that was going to be released in 2014, but Disney, when it took over, said, yeah, nothing in the EU is going to be released, so that was never allowed to see the light of day, and a lot of the fans of that series never got their questions answered. And it just bothers me so much because Disney honestly has so much money, has so much money, and they can afford to allow the EU to continue, or just even go to the point where to say stuff in the EU is non-canon. Like I said, it's just non-existent. Like, it's just for the fans. That's fine. Just do that, but just allow us to have our books. Like, it's just not fair to all the fans of the Old Republic and the New Jedi Order, and everything in the EU. It's not fair to take away everything that we grew to love, and then just say, yeah, they're never going to be released ever again. You gotta love our stuff, and that's it. It's like, okay, whatever. Why can't you just say that it doesn't exist, like the fans, and just allow them to be released? You'll still be making money off of them. It'll still be Lucasfilm. Like, you will still be making money off of it, and like you can do whatever you want with it. legends, you can send them to the grave where they're gonna go. Like it's going. They're digging themselves deeper and deeper with every movie they release. Like Episode 9 looks like garbage. It's going to be garbage, and like you could just send those movies to the grave because Disney just has no idea what they're doing. Kathleen Kennedy has literally no clue except for her own agenda. But that's for another video. But my thing is, Disney left so many questions unanswered, and just basically just spat in the face of the fans of all those legends and EU stuff, like books, comics, whatever. Just said, yeah, no, we're done. We're done with this. You're not gonna get it ever. Too bad. So sad. We're in it for the money. And I don't know if you can tell by my voice and just all the staring and stuff. I'm just getting pretty upset about it right now. And every time I think about it, I just think about what could have been and what should have been that never happened. It bothers me so much that we could have had these books. They could have just left those books alone and just said, yeah, they have the books like the Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi under that non-canon title, the Legacy title. That's what they call Legacy now. It's like, why can't you keep them under that title and just say, yeah, they're for the fans, and just leave it at that. Have your canon stuff like your movies and The Mandalorian that's coming out. Just give us the books. Seriously, just give us the books. So we can at least have some closure and some questions answered. And then you can do whatever you want, but just stop taking everything away that the fans love. Like, it's like Disney just really is trying to make all the old Star Wars fans so angry and just sending Star Wars just down the drain. Like,
You're not giving the option.
They pour so much money into these garbage movies, and that are just so bad. The action's bad, the direction it went was bad, and in fact, George Lucas, and this is some more recent news, George Lucas was upset because he felt betrayed because Disney didn't even go with any of the stuff that he suggested to them, and they bought off of him. They bought his ideas for the sequels, and they didn't even go with them. Basically, just to shut up George Lucas, which I feel so bad for him. Because George Lucas created Star Wars. Whenever you think of George Lucas, you think of Star Wars. Like, to do that to him, like, it's like Disney, you honestly, you have the gall to do that when you would literally have...
Chosen one.
You wouldn't have it now if it weren't for George Lucas. You really wouldn't. You wouldn't have Star Wars if it weren't for George Lucas. So, shame on you, and I hope you fail miserably. But it bothers me that they're just taking everything the fans enjoy and just saying to the fans that, yeah, Star Wars is going in a new direction, a direction that you don't want, but we don't care, because it's our Star Wars, not yours. It's not for you, it's for us. Here's an example. They're going to be releasing, and this is some leaked news, they're going to be releasing a Mara Jade series. And for those who don't know who Mara Jade is, she was the Emperor's hand, and she was basically going places where Darth Vader could not go. She was like the Emperor's assassin, and directly answered to the Emperor himself. Later on, Luke redeemed her after the Emperor had passed, and it was during Luke's New Jedi Order that he redeemed her, and she became Luke's wife, and they had a son named Ben.